I think it's safe to say that I've made like a sufficient amount of videos on Casio, which is a Japanese brand. So today I'm going to be making another video on another Japanese brand, Citizen. Citizen itself is not like a not well-known company. It is very popular among watch enthusiasts and also a very good option for people who are just getting into collecting watches. Specifically, today I'm going to be talking about the Citizen AR-1113. But of course, before we talk about the actual watch, let's talk about the brand history first. As I said, Citizen is a Japanese brand, and of course, it was originated in Japan. Basically, the situation was that most of the pocket watches that were being used were imported, and so this brand thought of making in house watches, specifically in house pocket watches for the people of Japan. And that is how the watch company Citizen first started. They first started by making pocket watches. It was founded in 1918 as the Shokosha Watch Research Institute by Kamakeiichi Yamazaki. But actually, the brand name Citizen appeared on the watch in 1924, 6 years after the original company had started. And this brand was actually suggested by the mayor of Tokyo at the time, who said that this brand should be named Citizen to appeal to all the citizens of Japan, and it should be something that everyone, all the public can enjoy. Shokosha merged with the Schmid Company, a Japan based manufacturing firm which had its expertise in Swiss watchmaking. And basically, Shokosha had the expertise of making watches, whereas the Schmid company had like the manufacturing stuff and the basic machines needed for a huge manufacturing process. So when they came together, Citizen's popularity rose even more. And as I said, they originally sold only pocket watches, but right after the merge in 1931, they started selling their first wristwatch. And in 1955, they started exporting watches outside of Japan. And by the 1970s, Citizen's watchmaking assembly line was fully automated, and it was one of the first companies in Japan to achieve this feat. The title for the first ever Japanese made diver watch goes to Seiko, which they released in 1965. But actually, Citizen claims the first water resistant Japanese watch, the Parawater, which was released in 1959. The parameter was waterproof to 50 meters of depth, which was quite impressive for the era that it was released in. That same year, Citizen released its 1300 meter professional diver's watch in a titanium case, which went into the record books as the most water resistant watch in serial production at the time. In 1970, Citizen Watch Company was the first to release a watch case made entirely out of titanium. Citizen used titanium for the case of its record-breaking professional diver watch in 1982, and in 1987 launched its first all-titanium collection called Atessa. Nowadays in Citizen's collection, you can see a collection named Super Titanium. The extremely scratch-resistant material not only has a surface 5 times harder than that of stainless steel, but the composition also allows for a variety of colors that tandem titanium does not allow for, including colors like silver, black, and rose gold tones. And of course, when you're a watchmaker as big as Citizen, you are bound to have other groups under you. So in 2008, Citizen bought America-based Bulova Watch Company. And it was not like some new relation for them. They were already supplying watch components to the company since 1960. In 2012, Citizen acquired La Jupelet, and it's so difficult to say these fancy names, but anyways, they are a Swiss high-end movement manufacturer, and they also acquired its subsidiary, Arnold & Son, a high horology Swiss watch brand. And in 2016, again they expanded their, Japanese family even more with the acquisition of the Geneva-based Friedrich Constant Group. Finally, coming back to the watch at hand, the Citizen AR-1113. Because the watch dial is very simple, you can see only this one text on the dial, Eco Drive. And that is the technology which is a very big reason of why Citizen is so popular. The origin of EcoDrive begins in 1976. This was the year the company introduced the quartz crystal solar cell, which was the first watch with a quartz movement which had rechargeable battery by any light source, not just the sun, but you could recharge it by lamps or basically any other light source. Now, obviously, because this was like the first prototype back then, as you can call it, the battery did not last very long. Basically, the EcoDrive technology works like this. There's a translucent dial through which the light passes onto a solar cell which is placed directly underneath the dial, which supplies power to the lithium ion battery of the movement below. And why this is a big step in the world of watchmaking is, of course, because it's a new technological feat, but it's also very sustainable and very good for the environment. So environmentally, the person who's wearing the watch does not need to again and again replace a battery and discard of the old ones. So directly that helps with reducing the waste in the environment. So of course the eco drive part makes it stand out from like other brands watches, but in the Citizen collection itself, this watch is ultra thin. I mean, this is how thin it is. It is just 5 mm thick. It has caliber G820 and weighs just 28 grams. And as I mentioned before, the dial is very simple. There is no date window, there is no text, there is not even a seconds hand. This watch has a clean minimalist aesthetic. And in my opinion, the gold tone is not the chatak gold, which will, catch your eye from afar, but it's kind of a dirty gold, which kind of helps with its luxuriousness and it's not completely in your face. That case paired with the white dial are the perfect blend of sophistication and timelessness. It's the kind of watch that pairs effortlessly with formal attire but also doesn't feel out of place in casual settings either. And of course, if you're looking for a sporty watch, then this is not it. Look at how thin it is and look at how simple the dial is. There is no way this could be considered a sporty watch or an adventurous watch. This is completely a dress watch. And wearing this watch genuinely does not feel like you're wearing a watch. And that is also helped by the fact that it has a leather bracelet. Now, this could very easily have a metal bracelet too, but again, that would just add to its weight and also make it a little bit more bulky. So the choice was a leather bracelet. But even in leather bracelets, you have a lot of options where the leather is bumpy. It is quite, thick. But this leather, the one which comes with the watch, is actually black in color. My friend got it replaced with a brown one. But yes, the leather bracelet is just as thin as the dial is and just as soft as you could imagine. Of course, it's EcoDrive, so it's powered by light and by any light, not just the sun. So there is no need for battery replacements. And this is not only convenient but also environmentally friendly. The gold tone stainless steel adds a subtle luxury feel without being flashy. And also the choice of not using proper numericals but using Roman numerals and also using just alternate Roman numerals makes it more rich looking. Of course, Romans compared to classic numerals are more classy and sophisticated. And yes, this means that the dial does showcase a watchmaker's 4, which is basically just 4 straight lines instead of the classic 1V. That is to maintain the symmetry of the watch. The AR-1113 is equipped with a reliable quartz movement for precise timekeeping. And also, yes, it is water resistant. Though I did not see any mention of the actual number of water resistance on its case back or on the official Citizen website. And this is not something rare that you can see. It happens quite often that brands don't actually mention how much water resistant the watch has. This usually just means that you're safe against like occasional splashes or light rain, but it is totally not recommended for swimming or diving or anything like that. If you're someone who appreciates clean design, wants a lightweight, eco-friendly watch and enjoys a touch of luxury, this one's for you. But I would not say that this is on the cheaper spectrum of buying watches. This one retails for 21,900. And yes, in my opinion, that is not on the cheaper side, but then you also get the perks of like saving money on batteries, and it's eco-friendly, it's sustainable, and it's ultra thin. It's versatile enough to wear to a meeting, a wedding, or even a weekend brunch. And with Citizen's reputation for quality, you know this watch is built to last. The lug to lug measurement of this watch is 24.9 mm. It is 38.7 mm without the crown. And this is how it looks on my wrist, size 5.5 inches. And because it does not look like hilariously big on my wrist, I feel like this is appropriate for almost all wrist sizes. I mean, definitely for wrist sizes bigger than mine, this is a good size. But even if someone has a wrist size of 5.5 inches, I feel like this wouldn't look like hilariously bad on you, because on my wrist it kind of sit naturally. So that was the Citizen AR-1113. Thank you so much for watching and stay tuned for more.